Hey man, let's talk about something that's probably happened to you and you didn't even realize it. You met someone, you connected, you felt that spark, and then you did what most guys do. You opened up, you shared your feelings, your past, your dreams, thinking that's what builds intimacy. But then something shifted. She started pulling back, texting less, being distant, and you're sitting there confused, thinking, wait, I thought women wanted emotional men. I thought vulnerability was attractive. Here's what no one tells you. There's a massive difference between being emotionally intelligent and emotional dumping. And most men, they can't tell the difference. They think opening up means unloading everything at once, like some kind of emotional confession booth. But that's not vulnerability. That's neediness disguised as depth. And women, they can smell the difference from a mile away. Today, I'm breaking down exactly why she pulls away when you open up too fast, the psychology behind it, and how to share yourself without scaring her off. Because listen, this isn't about playing games. This is about understanding timing, emotional intelligence, and the art of revealing yourself gradually. So let's get into it. First, she didn't earn your depth yet. Here's something most guys never consider. Emotional intimacy is currency, and like any currency, it loses value when you give it away too freely. Think about it this way. Would you tell your deepest secrets to someone you just met? Of course not. But when it comes to women, guys throw this logic out the window. When you share your childhood trauma, your biggest fears, your relationship history within the first few dates, you're essentially saying, here's everything about me, before she's invested enough to handle it. It's like handing someone your life savings when they haven't even proven they're worth your time. Attractive men, they make women earn their emotional access. They reveal layers gradually, each piece of vulnerability matched by her investment, her curiosity, her effort to know more. This creates intrigue, mystery, and most importantly, it shows you value yourself enough not to give everything away for free. Next, you're using vulnerability as a shortcut. Let's be real. Most guys who overshare aren't being vulnerable. They're being lazy. They want instant intimacy, instant connection, instant relationship, without doing the work of building it naturally. They think, if I just tell her how I feel about my ex, how my father left, how insecure I am about my career, she'll understand me and we'll be closer. But here's the thing. Vulnerability without context, without trust, without earned intimacy isn't bonding. It's dumping. And dumping creates pressure, not connection. When you share deep personal stuff too early, you're forcing her into a level of intimacy she didn't choose, she didn't earn, and she's not ready for. True vulnerability comes from strength, not neediness. It's sharing something meaningful because you choose to, not because you need validation or understanding from her. There's a massive difference between, I'm telling you this because I trust you, and I'm telling you this because I need you to fix me. Another thing, you're overwhelming her emotional capacity. Women are naturally more emotionally attuned than men, but that doesn't mean they want to be your therapist on date 2. When you dump your emotional baggage on someone early, you're essentially asking them to carry weight they didn't sign up for. Imagine someone you barely know starts telling you about their depression, their family issues, their financial problems, their relationship failures. How would you feel? Probably overwhelmed, maybe even trapped, because now you feel obligated to respond, to care, to fix, but you don't have the emotional investment to handle that level of intensity. This is exactly what happens when you overshare too fast. She feels the weight of your emotional world before she's built the strength to carry it. And instead of drawing her closer, it pushes her away because it feels like work, not connection. Here's another mistake. You're confusing intensity with intimacy. Most men get this wrong. They think the more intense the conversation, the more intimate the connection. But intensity and intimacy aren't the same thing. Intensity is surface-level emotional fireworks. Intimacy is deep trust, built over time. When you share your deepest struggles too early, you create intensity. She feels the weight of your emotions, the drama of your story, the complexity of your inner world. But that's not intimacy. That's just emotional intensity. And intensity without foundation burns out fast. Real intimacy develops gradually, through shared experiences, consistent behavior, trust earned over time, not through emotional confessions on the third date. She needs to see how you handle stress, how you treat others, how you show up consistently, before your deep personal stories have any real meaning. And here's the big one. You're making it about you, not the connection. When you open up too fast, you're usually doing it for you, not for the relationship. You want to feel understood, accepted, validated, But relationships aren't about what you need. They're about what you both create together. Every time you share something deep too early, you're essentially saying, this is about my need to be known, my need to feel close, my need to connect. But what about her needs? Her comfort level? Her emotional readiness? You're so focused on your own emotional release that you forget she's a person with her own boundaries. Attractive men, they pay attention to her responses, her comfort level, her investment before sharing more. They read the room, they match her energy, they let the intimacy develop naturally instead of forcing it through emotional oversharing. And finally, you're breaking the mystery that keeps her interested. Listen, women are attracted to depth, but they're also attracted to mystery, to the unknown, to the gradual discovery of who you are. When you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, you eliminate the curiosity that drives attraction. Think about your favorite book or movie. Would it be as compelling if everything was revealed in the first chapter? Of course not. The gradual revelation, the slow discovery, that's what keeps you engaged. The same applies to relationships. When you share your life story, your deepest fears, your biggest dreams all at once, you rob her of the excitement of discovering you piece by piece. She wants to wonder about you, to be curious, to gradually uncover the layers of who you are. So here's what you do instead. First, learn the difference between sharing and dumping. Sharing is, I had a difficult relationship with my father. Dumping is, let me tell you exactly how my father abandoned me and how it affects every relationship I have. Second, match her level of openness. If she shares something surface level, you share something surface level. If she goes deeper, you can go deeper, but let her lead the emotional pace. Don't force intimacy that hasn't been earned. Third, focus on building experiences together instead of sharing history. Create new memories, laugh together, face challenges together. Show her who you are through your actions, not just your words, because actions build trust, and trust builds real intimacy. Fourth, make her work for your depth. When she asks about your past, your dreams, your feelings, don't immediately spill everything. Give her pieces. Make her curious. Give her reasons to want to know more. This isn't game playing. This is understanding that value comes from scarcity, not abundance. Look, man, here's the bottom line. Women don't pull away because you have emotions or because you're deep. They pull away because you're giving away your emotional access too freely, too fast, without building the foundation to support it. Real attraction, real connection, real intimacy, that's built slowly, deliberately, with intention, not through emotional dumping sessions disguised as vulnerability. When you understand this, when you start valuing your own emotional depth enough to share it wisely, everything changes. She stops seeing you as needy and starts seeing you as someone worth knowing, someone with depth, someone with boundaries, someone who values himself enough not to give everything away for free. And that, my guy, that's when she starts leaning in instead of pulling away. So pay attention to how you share yourself, because the difference between attractive vulnerability and emotional neediness is everything. And once you master this, once you understand the art of gradual intimacy, you'll never have to wonder why she's pulling away again, because she won't be.